Today is the 1st of June 2023. We're off to our next stop, Hobatere Lodge and Community Wildlife Conservancy. This is an 8,000 plus hectare wildlife reserve and staffed by the local communities. We're going to spoil ourselves and stay deluxe at the lodge. We only have 3 scheduled nights of camping left and 2 lodge stays after this. It's 182 kilometres over sealed roads. This is a very popular tourist area, not so much for Hobatere, but for the neighbouring Etosha National Park, which is our next destination. It's a couple of hours' drive to the entrance of the reserve. As usual, I'm sitting on 100 kilometres an hour to keep the car happy. The landscape is flattening out here and we're losing the bigger hills like there are around Opuwo. When we get to the gate, it's open. Unusual. The sign says to close the gate, but we're Aussies and we leave the gates as we find them. It's 16 kilometres to the lodge from the gate and there's no mobile signal here, so we proceed. A bit further on we get signal, call the lodge to let them know the gate is open, and they already know. Martin, the ranger, is on his way to deal with it, and he turns up just as we hang up, so there's no point going back to close it. Much to our embarrassment, it was the preceding car that left it open and they were Aussies who should have known better. On the topic of the sign at the entrance, I like the no camping along with the beware of elephants and lions, and we worry about crocodiles. This rise in the track is about where we stopped to call the lodge. There was some impala here that we had to wait for, so we had time to call. We park up inside the lodge compound and check in. The lodge is surrounded by an electric fence and the gate is also electrified and closed at night. You can't leave between sunset and dawn. We're shown to our cabin, which is built a bit in the style of a local house. It's very comfortable and the mosquito nets are the real deal. Northern Namibia is a malaria risk area. We have a veranda and you can see the electric fence there. There's also some reading material on the local snakes. Disappointed not to have seen one yet. We wander the short distance to the lodge restaurant to reserve a table for dinner, book in for the evening sundowner drive and grab a drink and snack for lunch. It's pretty nice. It's classified as a 3-star and it isn't the cheapest place we've stayed, but it's nice without breaking the bank. This is the dinner menu. Not a huge choice, but the food is damn good. We wander outside to have our drinks and check out the view. One of the locals follows us to see if we're messy eaters. There's a waterhole out there in the middle distance where the light green scrub is. It's replenished from a bore with a solar-powered pump. These are pretty common at these lodges as it brings the animals in to where you can see them. There's another waterhole even closer, but it seems not to attract so many animals. These are wild animals, and I think you would only get the bigger and more confident animals like elephant and giraffe at this close waterhole. It's not long before some impala turn up. There are quite a few here. Good food for the 2 prides of lions that live on the reserve, I think. After a while, some giraffes turn up. Check out the size of this tree. The giraffe, which is fully grown and very big, is walking under the canopy of this tree, which is growing in the creek bed. I think they said it was a black ironwood tree. It's huge, not what you expect in this arid environment. Then some zebras. These are Hartmann mountain zebras. Notice that their stripes are all solid black. Plain zebras have alternating black and grey stripes. Hobatere Lodge is participating in a conservation program for these endangered mountain zebras. You can take photos of them and record the location and send them to a central repository. Their stripe pattern is distinct to each individual, and they can identify the range that the individual zebras roam over from the photos. Looks like there's some gossiping going on here. The oryx with the broken horn started it. Then kudu arrive. It's starting to get busy now. Watching a giraffe drink is an experience. Not only is it not elegant, but when they finish they whip their heads up as if they're on the verge of fainting. You can see two different techniques here, straight legs and bendy knees. And push him in. At the back was going to be a bit of a prankster and push the other one in.
See the other one's bending its knees?
Mm-hmm.
There's an oryx coming in now. That'll be a nice shot.
Mm-hmm.
And two zebra.
There are ground squirrels too, but they get into the compound with us. I hope I don't get savaged by one of those. The giraffes head off to do whatever they have booked in for the afternoon. That's the solar pump shed behind them. We get ready for the afternoon sundowner. As a reminder, it's a game drive with drinks and snacks at the end. Haven't done one since we were in the Kalahari. Martin points out this sparse woody bush with these pink flowers on it. It's what the sand bushmen make the poison they tip their arrows with out of. This is the kind of picture you can get of a hornbill when noisy tourists don't scare them off. The termite mounds have these curved points. I can't remember if it was to do with wind or sun exposure or both. Martin the ranger did say it's for temperature regulation anyway. More Hartmann's mountain zebras. You can see the stripe pattern more clearly here. You can get surprisingly close, but not too close. Again, these are not domesticated animals, but they'd be used to the safari wagons, which might be noisy and irritating, but move on after a few minutes and don't seem to pose a threat. We find this jackal chilling in the shade. It's not fussed by us and it ain't moving. Impala. These are very elegant animals, built for instant acceleration and high-speed manoeuvrability. The giraffes are here having a snack. Must be good to be able to munch the leaves high up that no one else can reach. These young people on their phones, animals to look at, and they're on the social media thing. We love them anyways. We go past the tree house. This is an optional accommodation you can stay at here. One couple only. There's a waterhole in front of it so you can have your own wildlife show. Angela wants so bad to stay there. If we're ever back in this area, it's top of the list. It's about 10 kilometres from the lodge and the only communication is via two-way radio. We continue on in the troopy, driving along the creek bed looking for lions. They're often found in the rocky hills to our right this time of the day. We don't find them. So we go back to the waterhole in front of the treehouse for drinks and nibbles. Martin explains that he uses this open location for the sundowners so there are no wildlife surprises. Under the tree somewhere might be more pleasant, but as the sign said, there are lions and elephants about. The couple on the left here are spending the night in the treehouse. We're dropping them off with some food and drinks on our way back to the lodge. Spoiler alert, we'll hear more about that in the morning. Okay, some nibblies and a savannah cider each. Gee, I wish I could get that here. It's dry and crisp and I bloody liked it. It's getting dark, so we need to get back for dinner. On the way, Martin spots this owl. As usual with the guides, I don't know how they do it. They can drive and spot wildlife at the same time. After dinner, we sit out watching the waterhole again. The lodge gates are shut for the night, and guess what turns up? Finally. We're peering through the dark trying to see how many we have. It looks like 3. 2 females and a calf, maybe? I'm trying to get decent shots in the dark without a tripod. How did I do? Okay, so that's that hoodoo broken. I hope to do better in the next few days, but you can't make appointments with elephants. They always forget. Off to bed as we're moving along in the morning. The next morning we've had breakfast and we're in the process of checking out when Martin rounds us up. The lions have been found. They made a kill in the night about 3 a.m. right in front of the treehouse. The couple that stayed there were woken by the commotion and the roaring of the lions as they called the rest of the pride in for some munchies. They did not sleep after that. They recorded the roaring on their phones. God, it was loud. They must have been about 100 metres away. Anyway, we jump back into the safari bus as Martin thinks he knows where they'll be. It takes a little while, but we find them. They don't want to be seen, and they're good at that.
See the line? Yeah.
Here's one watching us from about 50 metres away. Remember, we're in an open vehicle, no windows to wind up. I zoom in a bit. Then we see another one. It's a lot closer. And one even closer still. I'm getting nervous. That's a big animal and there are no steel or glass or anything between it and us. I look at Martin. Head, check. 2 arms, check. 2 legs, check. No visible serious injuries, check. Okay, I'll have to trust him on this, because if I get out and make a break for it, I think I would be a pussycat snack. By the way, there was no charge for the extra game drive. Thanks, Hobatere, much appreciated. Back at the lodge, we say our goodbyes and jump in the car to head off. We spot these impala on the drive out. Who can resist those eyes? There's also this baobab tree perched up on a rock that we didn't notice on the way in. Then it's out through the gate, making sure it's closed, and on our way to the next camp. It's called Olifantsrus, which means Elephant's Rest, which is a dead giveaway as to why we're going there. That's happening today, but this video is long enough already, so we'll see you in the next video for that. Thanks for watching.